he doesn't have to go out and do this with his clients. He's not going to do it, first of all.
Right.
It's not going to happen. Okay? What you're going to do with him once you've got the right one is you're going to develop an amazing relationship.
Right.
We're going to show you how in the anatomy of an integrated model.
Right.
Okay? This is that piece that happens after the engagement. You're going to develop that relationship the same way we have. You're going to make him aware of these things. You're going to talk about these things and all of that. And then you're going to give him some very, very critical advice on how to be better at developing a relationship. So what used to take you 12 hours and you only got 50% return, you can now do in 6 and get 100% return.
Right.
You're going to make him, show him these critical elements of communication that say, now when you talk to somebody, when you're having this conversation with your client, you're actually communicating because you're doing this and you're doing that. So instead of 4 hours on the phone with him or 6 hours or 14 hours, it's half of that. And the results are far better. And then you're saying, and the leader he has to see in you has to be somebody that he'll be attracted to, someone that's infectious, someone that he actually respects and desires and says, this guy is my guy.
Right.
So that if my guy says that you need to listen to Anthony Lombardi, then I'm listening to him. And you don't have to invest 45 hours a week with this client to make that happen.
Right.
But you have to invest time with me. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And then our human nature, see, we're playing into your human nature. Your human nature says you protect your own. You mess with my family, right? Anybody in here, you mess with your family, I'm okay, don't mess with my family, right? Okay? Don't mess with my friends. My friends need me, I got their back. That's just natural. We're protectors, we're hunters and gatherers. We're in our DNA is to what? Protect and to care for each other. Dave didn't have that because we had not connected on that level yet. And I told him that. I said, Dave, you should have been saying this. He says, well, what would I do now? I said, you call him back up and you tell him these things. And I haven't talked to Dave since. And it's been 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So Dave and I are in an impasse right now.
Interesting. So Dave is still very much wanting the relationship to work, even though it did, he took the avenue of defending a client before defending the relationship.
He wasn't defending the client, he was defending himself. David, everybody's in self-preservation mode. Everybody is me first. Okay? I'm disappointed. Didn't make me look good. This isn't what I expected. This isn't what I wanted to happen. Can you try that diatribe without using the word what I wanted?
Right.
Or making it about me? Let's try that. Humility. How about this really wasn't a good situation overall? How can we make it better? What would have been a better outcome? What happened? That wasn't the conversation. People are selfish. Okay? You're not going to be. And you're learning it from somebody who's a very selfish person. Me. Years and years of being about Tony. So I know what it looks like. And nothing is more gratifying now than giving myself away. So you're looking for the right CPA. Are you afraid of losing your client? Absolutely. Every CPA is going to answer yes to that if they're honest. And if you ask this question when it's right and in the right text, in the right framework, you'll get the truth. Communicating truth. Why do we develop trust? To communicate truth. Do you understand what's happening all the while this engagement process is going on? Your trust gauge is moving into the black. Your trust gauge is growing. You're gaining trust even before the engagement, which is how it should be. This is dating 101. Do you believe your clients like you? That's a great question. Do you believe your clients like you? Do you believe your clients like you? And why do they like you? And why do you believe they like you? Is even the most important question. Well, because they send me Christmas cards. Well, because they don't tell me they don't like me. Well, because they pay their bills. Well, they're still my client. So that's the gauge. Okay? Does your wife like you? Does your husband like you? Your kids like you? They're still your kid. She's still married to you. She may love you, but does she like you?
Are you going to answer those questions?
Are you kidding me? I live and eat and breathe for this stuff. You understand what happens when you have these type of conversations with another human being? Everything is possible. You are just so different. This is so vulnerable. You are so powerful. You are so unique that you're saying, look, you think this is all about business and we're talking about everything other than business. I'm sorry. This is all about relationships, and relationships are all about business.
So
There's-
you're actually going to go to a place where you actually believe your kids, or you're thinking about the possibility of your kids not liking you.
Well, didn't I just do it with you guys?
Just,
And you guys are paying a lot of money to be here. This is no joke. You're not here for free. You're not here for a lunch. You're here giving up your time and your efforts and your energy and your all of this to be here to learn something. And I just said, your kids might not like you, but they love you. So would I? Oh yeah.
You've got 4 puzzle pieces worth.
3 so far.
Well, yeah, so you're gonna have 4, which is like maybe 30-something questions.
Yes.
At the end of all this, how do you capture all this in a meaningful way for yourself and your team?
It's
to
coming up after the break.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Boy, right
Slow
there.
down.
At least he knew that there had to be a way to put it all together. I love that. I
course he
love
does.
that. This guy he may be the ambassador of the year. We'll see. Figure it out. Not sure yet if he takes my Texas client. Maybe 85-15.
I'll give you 15. I'll give you 20.
I like
You were
that.
so good.
Playing some Hold'em right there.
And okay, so why? There's your answer. And do you believe your clients trust you? How much? When they say yes, I'm going to say, how much do they trust you? Because they're all going to say, well, I do their tax returns. Well, that's what you're being paid to do. It doesn't take trust to do that. Okay? Do your clients trust you? Do you believe they trust you? And then I always ask, do they have you without borders type of trust, that parachute trust? Or more of a dry clean my dress shirt type of trust? You're my dry cleaner, of course I trust you to do my dry cleaning. But don't you dare tell me to pack a parachute and we're gonna go jumping out of a plane after you just packed it. Or do they say, dude, the guy loves me, cares about me. He knows what's important to me. He and I are really close. Yeah, pack the parachute. I'm going with you, pal. Let's do this. That is the kind of trust without borders you want. No one's going to say they've got that. And then your question simply would be, would it make a difference if they did? Of course they're going to say yes. Great. So all you have to do is invest 75 hours more a month with each client. And you'll have it. Next. No. How about if you could have that with less of a time investment on your part? Work smarter, not harder. Your problem isn't the effort. That's not the issue. The effort isn't the issue. Your problem is the results. Your problem is your target. Aim big, miss big. Aim small, miss small. We're going to be more efficient with everything. Time effective. There's where we're going. See how all this, leave it there. See how all this fits? You have one more piece of this puzzle to talk about. But do you get this? Do you understand the engagement process, how powerful this is? That's why when I ask Stu or whoever the accountability coach is, hey, who's engaging, who's not engaging? And they tell me they've engaged, and I'm like, do they know? Have they done that? And then you're just throwing darts in the dark. You might get one. You might. You might find the right one. Just boom, you guys hit it off. But somewhere down the road, when it comes to people and when it comes to relationships, I promise you every shortcut you take will come back to haunt you. Life has a way of bringing out imperfections in everything we do. And when it comes to relationships, sometimes they're not repairable. Are you willing to risk all the work in that? Do the work up front, and then let life bring you bountiful harvest rather than totally exposing your inefficiencies. This is powerful stuff. And you are unique, and you are powerful, and you're different. And that makes all the difference in the world. Good? Great.